What's going on, y'all? Jimmy Thyr Economics here, and welcome to this video where we will talk about turning your house into a gold mine. And yes, you heard me right, a gold mine. Me and my friend talked about this a couple of days ago, and he actually said to me that he thinks that the house you're owning, or if you buy a house and you live in it, get a family or whatever you want with your house, that you actually earn money on your house. And I strongly disagree that you earn money by buying a house, because you don't. Let's take for an example. Let's say you own a house. Maybe you have to pay $5,000 a month or $500 a month for whatever for the house. That's still gonna cost you the electricity, the water, and what's so going on. The only way for a house to grow in value is if you renovate it, or maybe the market itself is going upwards. So how can we consistently and in a safe way turn your house into a gold mine? Well, I'm here to tell you that it isn't so hard. First thing that you need to do is to subscribe to this channel. It's the red button right there, and also the notification bell and the like button. Just destroy it, smash it, do whatever you want, because I'm here to tell you not just how to turn your house into a gold mine, but your whole life as well. So let's say you want to buy a house. You buy a house that costs $100,000 and you have a down payment of $15,000. That's gonna mean that you still owe the bank $85,000, and that has to be paid in 15, 20, 40, 50 years, depends on the country you're living in. And just to say it, in these 20, 40, 50 years that you have to pay for your house, you can't just pay $85,000 and think that's fine, because it's not. You still have interest, you want to pay for the electricity and all the other things in the house. So let's say for an example that your electricity and your insurance and water and everything that goes with it costs $400 a month. And you also have an interest of 2%. 2% interest on that loan we were talking about is around $290 a month. Maybe you just have 1%, and I think that's around $240, $250. But we're gonna calculate with 2% because why not? So if you pay your mortgage, you pay your interest, and you pay the cost of actually living in the house, that's around $690, which isn't cost every month that you need to pay. The mortgage you're gonna win on, but the interest the bank's gonna win on. So every time you have to pay the interest cost, that's money that you actually will lose. So in reality, when you take a loan of around $100,000, maybe you have to pay the bank around $120,000, $130,000, depends on the interest, and that's much more than the house actually cost when you bought it for that $100,000. But to make it into a gold mine, it's actually a real easy method to do, and that's actually to rent the house out while you're living in it. It sounds really easy, and it actually is. Let's say for an example you buy a house with 4 rooms, 2 bathrooms, 1 kitchen, or whatever you want to buy. You can easily rent out 2 rooms in that house without a problem whatsoever. You just need to find people that are decent and can live with other people. And you may say to yourself,
well, it's not so hard to do that, or anyone can do it, or it's impossible, or it is possible.
I actually don't care, because that's just the fact that you will earn money while doing that. So let's say for an example again, it's gonna cost you $690 if you take the calculation I did before, like $690 every month for you to live in your house with all the expenses, the mortgage, the electricity, everything. If you rent out 2 rooms for, I don't know, $500 each every month, that's $1,000 every month that you get. If you don't write off with any tax or take any advantage of that whatsoever, and you actually have to tax on your income, let's say 30%, because that's what we have here in Sweden, you're still gonna end up with $700 every month in your pocket by letting someone live in your house, and you're sharing the kitchen and the living room and everything that you want. Suddenly you have a cost of $690 for living in the house, but you also get an extra income of $700 by renting it out, which means you make a $10 profit. In reality, it's not that simple, because maybe you can do a tax write-off, and of course if there's gonna live more people in the house, the electricity bill is gonna go up and so on. But you get my point. You can transform your house actually costs you money into something that generates money. Let's say you don't rent out 2 rooms. Let's say you have a great house and you also have a basement where you actually can live in. Why not rent out the entire basement? Maybe for $600, $700 a month. Now we're actually talking making money. And what's gonna happen then is that you're gonna soon realize that the money that you earn by renting out the house can actually grow even more. The bank's gonna see that you can generate money. the bank's gonna see that you appreciate the value, that you appreciate the money that you're getting, and that you can actually execute it right. So why wouldn't they let you maybe take another loan in 2-3 years if you want to buy another house to rent out? Suddenly you live for free in your own house because you rent it out for $500 per person, and suddenly you also own a new house. What's so good about this is that when you take a loan from the bank, you actually just loan $85,000 because you have a down payment of $15,000, which means if you earn $1,000 every month without tax write-offs, that's $12,000 every year. You own the property, but actually not, because the bank actually owns 85% of this property, but you can take out 100% of the income that you're generating. So you're actually just putting out $15,000 down as a payment, but in reality, you're earning $1,000 every month, which is actually $12,000 every year that you are generating, not the bank. Suddenly, you have almost gained the entire, and I mean the entire down payment in just 1 year. That's like 80% increase. How many times can you tell me that you put $15,000 in the stock market and 1 year from then you also gain $12,000? Almost no one can. So that's why it's so good to rent out your house and actually turn it into a gold mine. And that's all for me today. So it was a quick video. It's a little bit shorter than usual, but if you like the video, if you like my content or whatever, just hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, and I see you next time.